25 Best GBA Shooter Games. Number 25. Van Helsing. There are too many bad things to say about Van Helsing for the Game Boy Advance, and very few good things. But if you're looking for a horrifically bad game that takes less than 2 hours to finish, then, by all means, give Van Helsing a shot. Number 24. Star Wars Flight of the Falcon. Unfortunately, Flight of the Falcon doesn't really take off at all. All the right elements are here, and nothing would have been more satisfying than piloting the beloved Millennium Falcon as Han Solo himself. But the game feels stiff and oftentimes rather empty. Number 23. Ace Combat Advance. Fans expecting an authentic Ace Combat on the go are sure to be disappointed. That said, if you're merely looking for a portable shoot 'em up, Ace Combat Advance does have enough going for it to offer a few solid hours of aerial combat. Number 22. Army Man Advance. Army Man Advance perpetuates the franchise legacy of mediocrity. Its graphics are at the bottom of the Game Boy Advance totem pole. None of the hardware's interesting features like multiplayer are utilized, and the one-player mode can be finished in one day. Number 21. Iridion 3D. Iridion 3D is easily one of the Game Boy Advance's most visually impressive launch titles. It looks great, and it will really sell you on this whole portable gaming thing. If you decide to pick it up, be warned that after the initial wow wears off, you'll be stuck with an empty experience. Number 20. Star Ecks. Star Ecks is a sight to be seen on the Game Boy Advance. While the game definitely borrows heavily from its ancestors, it manages to stand out on its own right. While this goes for both good and bad, in the end, this game would be a solid addition to any owner of Nintendo's portable wonder. Number 19. Classic NES Series Xevious. All in all, this classic NES Series game does a great job of playing the NES version of Xevious. Unfortunately, the NES version of Xevious was never really all that great of a game, and its classic status on the NES is questionable at best. Number 18. Robotech, the Macross Saga. If you're a Robotech fan who cares about nothing more than adding to your collection of memorabilia, then by all means pick this game up. However, if you're after a meaningful shooter with lasting value, you'd be wise to look elsewhere. Number 17. Dark Arena. It's technically competent in the end, and many of its little touches are quite impressive, but there are clearly more memorable shooters of its kind already available. The 4-player deathmatch mode might warrant a look if you're already bored of Dooms, but otherwise you're probably already covered. Number 16. Wings. Wings on the GBA is an enjoyable game with 3 different styles of gameplay, all of them with their own pros and cons. The entire package could have used a few more tweaks to tighten up the gameplay, but overall it's an enjoyable arcade-style take on the World War I air combat theme. Number 15. The Sum of All Fears. In the end, The Sum of All Fears is a good entry point for people interested in discovering the tactical espionage genre, but it doesn't offer anything over Rainbow Six Rogue Spear. At the same time, people who purchase the game based upon its title will be annoyed when they discover that it doesn't follow the plot of the movie. Number 14. Ballistic, Ecks vs Sever 2. If you're an FPS fan, then you should really check this game out. If you prefer stealthy gameplay to cut and dry running and shooting that Nukem offers, then you may well prefer this. It's all down to personal taste, but it's well worth getting your hands on. Number 13. 007, Everything or Nothing. James Bond 007, Everything or Nothing ditches the FPS design from the previous game for a more traditional isometric guns and fist setup. And if you're in the mood for a brief yet satisfying action game that faithfully captures the look and feel of a typical James Bond movie, pick this one up. Number 12. Monster Force. Overall, Monster Force offers up some good times that harken back to the old days, but the awkward gameplay elements get in the way far too often. While this game is certainly inspired by Gauntlet, it doesn't manage to purport the same methodic intrigue and amusement as the timeless classic on which it is loosely based. Number 11. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Rogue Spear. In all, Rogue Spear is a pretty robust GBA game, one that will likely take up a good deal of your time if you allow it to. It's quite faithful to its source material, and it more than manages to recreate the experience of its PC forefather, albeit in more abstracted form.
Let's get out of here. Thank God you're here!
Number 10. Ecks vs Sever. Ecks vs Sever is a good, solid game that gets the job done in a simple, effective way. Although players might not be as impressed because of how old the game seems, but the simple fact that the GBA can actually deliver a decent first-person shooter is an achievement in its own right. Number 9. Gradius Galaxies. If you like a challenge, Gradius Galaxies is great. The artistic visuals and ever-increasing challenge level are sure to keep you occupied for a long time, while smaller touches such as the battery restore feature and hint mode help offset the perception that the game is merely a linear exercise. Number 8. Doom 2. Overall, this is possibly one of the very best games available on the Game Boy Advance, although it might be somewhat uninteresting to someone who knows the original version inside out. This is a solid gaming and a great addition to a GBA game collection. Number 7. Metal Slug Advance. While Metal Slug Advance is fairly short, clocking in at only 5 missions. There are extra dungeon levels as well as 100 cards to find and collect to add the replay value. Plus, it's just fun, and with virtually no learning curve, it can be picked up at any time for a quick shooter fix. Number 6. Max Payne. There is just no denying it. Max Payne on the GBA is both brilliant and amazingly true to the original. Not only does it faithfully capture all the things we love about the console version of this game, but also it takes advantage of the Game Boy Advance's full potential. Number 5. Doom. This was a classic game on the PC and PS1, and now it's a classic on the Game Boy Advance. Doom was the game that made people take the genre seriously. If you're a first-person shooter enthusiast or just a fan of action games in general, you owe it to yourself to pick up Doom. Number 4. Iridion II. Iridion II is much better than Iridion 3D. Not only is it a beautiful game, but it's also fun to play. If you enjoy space shoot 'em ups, you can't go wrong with Iridion 2. It looks gorgeous, sounds great, and plays at least as well as many of the classics. Number 3. Medal of Honor Infiltrator. Medal of Honor Infiltrator captures most of the things that give the franchise its identity. The developer has taken that simple design and has updated it by adding depth through the inclusion of stealth elements and tricky AI. The end result is a fun handheld game that should please anyone who's looking for a great action game. Number 2. Duke Nukem Advance. Attitude is what distinguishes Duke Nukem Advance from the other FPS games available for the Game Boy Advance. The overall gameplay is solid enough to satisfy most players, but it's the superiority of vocal one-liners that you'll remember long after you've powered down the system. Number 1. Gunstar Superheroes. Gunstar Superheroes is a really great game for the GBA. Fans of the original game will not be disappointed with this game. The great gameplay and the amount of variety of the gameplay are sure to please almost everyone. The graphics will probably have a few of you dumbfounded wondering just how powerful the Game Boy Advance really is.
The feeling hit me like a point-blank shot straight in the face. Something was not